Testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Perfect. All right, so let's get out here and see what's getting active. Starting with our micros, looks like leading the day is ATHA. It has a phase 3 development program for metastatic breast cancer candidate and a financing for up to 236 million. Now, yesterday I thought was going to be the breast cancer day that we all expected. We had MBRX moving on breast cancer. We had PC, I think it was like PC, PSA, was it? Yeah, PCSA. But now PCSA is down a lot. PCSA was phase 2 breast cancer. And now ATHA has phase 3 development program for selective estrogen receptor modulator. So we'll see how this one plays out today. Breast cancer has definitely taken these 2 days by storm. So we'll see. The volume on ATHA is 2,700,000 shares traded so far. Let's go do our due diligence before we jump into all of the actually change a few things real quick. But this one is the leader for today, so we'll be watching it until something else pops up. Okay, so let's go ahead up our notes and things like that. Got our notes. Say, all right. THA, Athera Pharma, up 60%, 3 million shares traded. Hit a high up here, and we'll have to look at the daily chart before we kind of come down here to the 1 minute. Let me jump over here to the daily chart and see what it's looking like. Daily chart for this one closed at 414 yesterday. Had a high up here of $5 flat, but it's over that now. It's back up. Ooh, okay. So gap down was 727. It hit 785. Okay, so let's go ahead and it's all marked up. When was this? This was back in 2024. Let's come to more recent times here. These aren't even peak daily levels. These are just possibles. So $5 flat, let's call it a possible. Possible daily. Okay, and it does look like it kind of doesn't have really big days. It has a lot of choppiness on the daily chart. Yeah, take that into consideration. Wait, what was this? Here's another something right here at 832. That almost looks like a peak, but it's just so bouncy. I think we can call it a peak. $832 daily level. Scroll back a little bit more. Then we got this level down here, $7 flat, which was where the gap down opened up down here. So this is a lower gap level. On the daily, lower gap. Okay, so now we got the daily chart marked up. Now let's jump over to some research on it. Go over here to the profile. This is showing up for y'all because I don't see it. this. Nope, that's not it. There we go. Okay. So now look over here on the profile. Athera Pharma, a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company, focuses on developing small molecules to restore neuronal health and slow oh my goodness, neurodegradation. Its product pipeline includes AAT, whatever the treatment of amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, which is a phase 1. This one, a neurodegenerative disease, which is phase 1 clinical trial. Company was formerly known as M3 Biotechnology Inc. and changed its name to Athera Pharma Inc. in April 2019. It is out of Bothell, Washington. Okay, so let's go ahead and pop some notes out here. Keywords. For the keywords, clinical stage, biopharmaceutical. So we know it's a biotech. It's got 26 employees. Pop all of that into the notes. Out of Washington in the United States. And let's go ahead. Okay, now let's go over to the statistics and look at that float. I don't know why it's tight. Trading this tight. It's actually trading like it's a larger float. Okay, the float is 2.7 million, and then shares outstanding this thing has the float to be making some bigger moves. Institutions are heavy on it. That's what it is. Institutions are heavy on this. 43%. That's what it is. And they do not want it breaking out yet. No sirree. That is what. Okay. That's why it's trading so tight, because institutions that have a much larger holding of this lower float. And so maybe it goes up, but it's not going to go up until the institutions are ready for it to go up. Let's continue to do our due diligence. Let's go over here to see if it has any shelves. ATHA. Shelf registration from 2024. It's still in the 2-year period, so maybe they'll use that, but that's kind of old. All right, so let's go back over to the chart, 1-minute chart. Here are my notes. Oops. Notes right here, activate. So out of Washington, United States, healthcare biotech company. Full-time employees 26. Shares outstanding is actually should be 3 million, not 53 million. Okay, is it right now? Okay. Now, shares outstanding 3.9 million. Boom, boom, boom. But this is what messing it up. These institutional holders, if it was more insiders, it would probably be going wild right now. But this institution is going to be some brick walls holding it where they want it to be until they're ready. Okay, so it went up to a high. We got our levels out here that we marked from the daily chart. Peak daily level. This was the lower gap at the 707s. We got a possible daily level down here at the 5s, and it is trading pretty flat right now. Okay, speaking of higher floats, over here and look at what they got. Actually, just micro. So we got SOC up here. What SOC is, but do they have no catalyst on the day on SOC? UGRO, no catalyst. DJT, this one is Donald Trump, I guess, doing something. DJT, 4 million shares traded on. It's up 19% on DJT. It looks like it does have some type of catalyst from this morning, so I'll notate this one, and I will notate ATHA here. Catalyst. See if there's anything else showing up with catalyst here. Nope. Okay, but anyway, SOC, no catalyst. DJT, MU, Micron is up. That one might take up 14%. That's a pretty big move for that big company. 14% on MU. That's pretty much it. That's all I'm notating right now. So on watch, I got DJT, I got ATHA, Catalyst, and I got MU. Okay, so let's go do our due diligence on DJ. Ooh, shares outstanding on DJT are pretty high. Shares outstanding, 279 million shares outstanding, so definitely not going to be moving like a low float. ATR is about 50 cents per day. It started today at $10.74. Let's go look at this daily chart for DJT. DJT has been trading down. Closed around 1047 yesterday and popped back up to 14, somewhere up in here, 1470. Really not any obvious things. These are old price levels. These are not things that I put here recently. I don't know how old these are. Let me check. This was put on here January, March, May, September 2024 when I put these marks out here, but I don't really need these anymore. Remove all of these. Whole bunch of them. Clear it all. But this chart has looked like it's been dying. But this is one of those kind of meme type movements. So if it does start really soaking up the volume, it's something to watch. If it takes away from everything else. Jump over here to the news and see if any of these are on the front page news. DJT. So we got CPI inflation on deck. What to expect in push-pull print. Trump media took up. It is on the front page. Trump media to combine with fusion firm TAE and $6 billion deal. It's Warner Brothers' turn to go hostile. Why it could pay off. Gold waivers near record as platinum extends meteoric rally. Birkenstock sees muted sales growth. JP Morgan names 6 stocks vulnerable to a reversal. Meta's Yan LeCun targets $3.5 billion. Stock bulls have a worryingly long list of 2026 risk to ponder. The Bank of England cuts its key interest rate. Bank of England cuts key interest rates. Accenture beats quarterly revenue estimate. South Korea is pulling out all the stops to try to prop up one. UPS company deploys AI to spot fakes amid surge in holiday returns. Oh, wow, they're using AI to spot fakes. Okay. U.S. crypto industry cheers 2025 wins, but party may fizzle next year. Crypto's slump may be a cultural problem as much as a financial one. Okay. So let's see. Micron, Outlook's monster numbers, Amazon's, Apple, blah, blah, blah. This is the one I want to see because this is the one that's up on the scans, Micron.
More, we're bringing in William Kerwin, Services Equity Analyst at Morningstar. William, the stock is up. That follows, as I said, a monster move in 2025 heading into this print. What do you make of the results?
Well, Josh, these are monster numbers in the guidance, as you said. It was not only a beat on the results they reported for their fiscal first quarter, but really this is a story about the guidance and just how much higher this pricing can go. And so the dynamics that we're seeing here is these are commodity like chips. Memory chips can be produced by a lot of different players in the world, but there is a limited supply here. And there is so much demand for these chips to go into data centers for AI that it becomes supply constrained and then the prices just skyrocket. And so we think that's what's happening here in this really impressive guidance that drives revenue up. It also drives those profit margins to, frankly, ridiculous levels in the 60% range, as you said.
A key question, William, I know you talk about this in your research for this name, is how we think AI impacts DRAM and NAND cyclicality going forward. How do you think about that? As a financial analyst covering the name, William.
Well, we still think this is a cyclical market long term. The way that I've been describing it is that AI is creating this particularly strong, and especially as you look at the Q2 numbers, an exceptionally strong and particularly durable upcycle. But we still see it as part of a cyclical long term end market. This is all about matching the ratio of demand to supply. And what we've seen over decades in the memory market is that when there are mismatches in that supply and demand, and you get into a period of oversupply. So if all of these memory chip makers start building capacity to fulfill this demand and they overbuild a little bit, that's when pricing can crater and really have the opposite effect of what we're seeing now, where growth and margins go severely down. So we don't see that happening in the short term, but long term, which is our focus, we still see this as a cyclical market, and this just being a particularly strong upcycle.
So if memory does remain cyclical, William, then pricing declines will return. How, as an investor, do I prepare for that? Or what signs and signals am I looking for to get ahead of that?
Well, that's exactly what we think. And it's hard to put an exact time on it, but we came into the print tonight a little bit bearish on the name, at least in terms of valuation, where we think if you're buying in at today's prices, you're really assuming that this environment where prices are going up rather than down, as well as demand going up, is going to last for a significantly long time. We think it'll last into the short term, but again, that longer term view of cyclicality keeps us on the sidelines for a name like this, at least heading into the print, and then we'll have to crunch the numbers tonight and see what comes out.
William, how do you think about the competitive landscape for Micron, Samsung, SK Hynix? How has it been shifting? What are Micron's advantages?
Those are the big three, and I described these products earlier as commodities, and that's really what memory chips are. So these are very advanced chips, but what Micron produces, what SK Hynix produces, what Samsung produces, generally we view as fungible, and these three firms being at similar paces of technological development. Now, you mentioned HBM earlier. That has been a slight paradigm shift in that dynamic where Hynix has really taken the lead, and we consider Micron to be a number two there. But longer term, we expect Samsung to make up its progress and again create this fungibility across the three firms. And that's what creates market-driven pricing dynamics. And those can lead to either a volatile cyclical downturn, or as we're seeing right now, really strong pricing that is benefiting all three of these firms.
William, Micron does have China exposure. What does that business look like long term?
Very little China exposure at this point, actually. They had taken a hit about a year or so ago by not being able to sell some of their products into China. So we see that exposure is actually quite negligible at this point. And again, most of the demand here is now being driven by AI data center buildouts in the West, both for HBM and their other versions of these DRAM memory chips.
What would be your top questions, William, for CEO Sanjay Mehrotra? What would you want to ask him if you get a shot?
Well, we want to know all about what they're seeing in the pricing environment, because this is a case where we were expecting pricing to be up, but nowhere near as much as it's guided to be up this quarter. And so I think what's on most investors' minds, what's on my mind, is the longevity of these pricing increases that I talked about, and really how long this amazing profitability can last, and if it can even go higher.
All right. So back over here, we still have those three on the map. DJT, Donald Trump, kind of meme stockish type deal. Actually, let's just go look into this one on research. DJT. We already looked at. Oh, and I did change my color. I changed my color over here on ATHA. For the notes, I don't know. That red was kind of throwing me off. The white looks a lot clearer on the chart. Like, look at this. How clear this is. Activate. Look at this. I can see these notes anywhere. You know? But anyway, let's jump back over to research on DJT. Profile. How many employees they got over there at Trump Media and Technology? You probably got like 29 employees at the Trump Media and Technology Group Corp. This is engages in social media and streaming services in the United States. The company operates Truth Social, a social media platform for free expression, and Truth Plus, and a streaming platform focusing on news, Christian content, and family-friendly programming. It also offers TruthFi, a financial services and fintech brand that incorporates American First investment vehicles. Trump Media and Technology Group Corp was founded in 2021 and is headquartered in Sarasota, Florida. All right. Got a Floridian stock. Of course it's in the US. So keywords, so we got social media is definitely, if that's the keyword, you already know it's probably going to be a meme type stock. That's the first thing they have in there. Let's see, streaming services, Truth Social. You know, they got some finance. They got the financial service as well. But for the most part, it's a meme stock. All right, so let's go over here to statistics. Statistics on this one says the float is 155.09 million. Shares outstanding 280 million. So that is a very large float for what we're looking for in pre-market. We'll see how excited people get on it. It's held by more insiders than institutions. It could make some wild little moves, but you know, you got to measure out your risk versus the reward and see if it's worth it for you. Boy, that's clear. All right, so got my keywords out there: social media, financial service. Activate. Outstanding shares, implied outstanding shares, float, and then held by insiders, held by institutions. Okay, got all that. Like I said, it's one of those that could get stirred up, especially like a lot of times when we see something like DJT move, it takes a couple days because it's so big. It's so, the float's so big and it takes a lot of time to move it. So I wouldn't expect super fast movement. Now, it did make super fast movement off the rip from $10.57. Almost, this was a 1 minute candle. So 1 minute straight up to 13. So it's a $3 move. But after that, we see the wicks come in and they start trying to control it. Let me look back over here at ATH. So this one is one that we were looking at. This is a micro float. So let me activate these notes, bring them down a little bit. Text, display first line. I wonder what'll happen if I put the icon only. What? Okay, so if I click on this, it's not gonna work. All right, so came back up ATHA trying to get back to this $7, but this one's held by institutions, and that's why it's trading kind of flat here. They're kind of controlling it, and we don't know, how a breakout will look. It hit a high up here of 785. Kind of just trading sideways there. It has 6 million shares traded. Still has more volume than DJT. We got a couple penny stocks up here, but these penny stocks, I don't think they're gonna be. They don't have any catalyst. INHD got hit in the mouth. Reverse stock split. Went from 11 cents down to 7 cents. Somebody's crying right now. MU, slight little pullback. Only 1 million shares traded. Needs more. It needs more volume. Okay, and this one ATHA does look kind of bullish. Not gonna lie. So the bottom here was 489 down here through this big wick. Had another little bottom at 636. So we'll see how these end up holding. Let me my little trend out and see how it ends up holding up this trend. If this is a trend. No verification yet though. Yeah. This looks right. Okay. Right now we got a little channel going on here to this level. See if it can break out of this channel. But it's looking pretty tight. Got a channel and a possible trend, so extend these to the right. Very hard to trade this one though with all the bounciness. Almost 7 million shares traded on it. ATR of 28 cents. Glad I looked at that. So on a normal day, ATHA moves 28 cents per day. So it moved from 490, and then this little range that it's in is from 7 down to 650-ish almost. So about 25 cents in this little range that it's moving right now. So a little bit below what the ATR is anyway. Starts breaking down at 650. It's not going to be looking too good. But I don't think it's going to fall that much because of the institutions. They don't want breakouts. Watch this. So institutions come, they move it here. Let's see a smackdown here. Smackdown back below this level, the 698s. Right around that range. Because you got to think about it. Institutions love stability. They love for things to not move much. They love to be in front of it. Now, what happens if they're shorting big and they start to lose control? Then you'll see the big breakouts. But those are very unpredictable, right? Because you never know. It's like somebody fat fingers one time and then bang, straight up through the roof. But as long as they can control it, they're not worried. Right. The other one up. Right now, we're just looking around, observing the market. Go back over here to news. Do we have any speakers today? Today is the 18th. We do not have any speakers on today for FOMC. I did take one trade yesterday. I really thought it was going to do better than it did. It was a green trade, and I probably could have taken more profit. But one of the things I hate about some of the trades that I get into is the spikes. It'll spike up, I'll see the profit, but I'm like, oh, okay, and it doesn't hold. It comes right back down so quick. So MBRX was one of those yesterday. I had really was watching this. This is the only one that I liked the catalyst on, and it had failed. 15 minutes. It had failed, went up here, huge move up. Clinical phase 1 clinical trials of a breast cancer drug, metastasis, cancer metastasis. It was moving along with the PCSA, I believe it was the stock or whatever. And let me. Okay, so I saw it come down in here, and I got long on this. Let me see, at 389, so right around here somewhere. And my $100 goal was right here, this little 405 line. So it went up there to $100. I was like, okay, well, let's just see if it can, splash back up 420, whatever. Went up there and spiked all the way down. I was like, come on. But I was still green on the trade. And so it came down a little bit, spiked up again, and the volume just started to dry. And I actually went on a little break, went for a walk. I had a stop down here, but it didn't get hit. It came back up and never did get back to that $100. So during the middle of the day, me and Donnell, we were talking about it. We were like, yo, I think I'm gonna take the profit that I got and just walk away. Because so many times I've been caught in these, and it actually ended up going to like 432. I had 638 shares of it. So, 405 would have been $100, but man, that volume, when I tell you it was hard to get out of the trade, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take it where it is and just play it safe, because this is not what I'm looking for. So I took the profit there. It was a small green trade. And that's pretty much been the story of this month. I've taken in total 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trades, and I lost one. Now, one of the things that got me on YCBD is it was my first sentimental trade of the month, right? So with it being a sentimental trade, I really didn't, it wasn't any catalyst on that stock, but it was a sector catalyst, and that's why I jumped in on it. But I went back because I was greedy and gave back a lot of that profit. Didn't give back all of it, but gave back a lot of it. So those are my trades this month. This is kind of how that was looking. So that one Monday got burned on Monday, but now we're back on track. And maybe we'll recoup this last little $100 and then go into next week and be okay. But it is what it is. So yeah. That's how the month's looking for me. Back over here to ATHA. And this one is kind of just vibing around, still flat. DJT. This is, man, I'm telling you, these meme stocks just kind of throw me because it's hard to trade them, because their news is kind of like on the line. Is this good or is this bad? So basically, it's Trump Media and Technology Group to merge with TAE. So this is a merger. And a lot of times with mergers and acquisitions, we kind of leave them alone. But this is a meme stock, so you never know what it's gonna do. It could be a merger, but then people could just be like, oh, Trump could say something else today, and it steamrolls everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know what it's going to do, even if it has catalyst or weak catalyst. But it has 6 million shares traded. It's not caught up with ATHA as of yet. And and this is one of the other things that you get from looking at the structure is this a trend, right? And right now, from what we're seeing, we're not seeing a trend. We're seeing consolidation in here. And the longer this consolidation is, the weaker a trend that starts from this is going to be. So it's going to be way easier to slam that trend back into this consolidation if it tries to break out, like we saw right here. And even right here where it's just the trend stopped at this level and just met its head right there. But again, I don't think it's gonna dump either. I think it's gonna keep going sideways. It may try to dump and get pushed right back in its range. But we're looking for something else to come up and really challenge both of these or all three of these. MU came down, pulled back just a little bit. It made quite a big move from the 246 all the way up here. So a $10 move basically. That price on yesterday. So yesterday it was down at $221, and then whoever bought this and just held overnight and basically gambled on it, they got a nice $20 blessing. I mean, that's quite a bit of a move there on MU. But it's low volume today, so maybe they do some profit taking, but I don't know. I don't know if any other good news is going to come out on it behind those earnings. Other thing to watch out on is with DJT having that high float like that, if it does stop, or if it does do a big move, it can just stay there. So if it falls with you, it may not go back up today. It may not go up tomorrow. It may just, continue to grind down. So it's going to be a very hard one to trade, I believe, especially after the open when everybody sees it and they're like, oh yeah, Donald Trump, and they jump in and they get torched. So I really want to protect myself from that kind of exposure. For sure, I'm looking for especially a lower float, something that can actually pay out on some catalysts. I was thinking ATH 8 would do it, but looking at those institutions in there, I know they're gonna be tripping. We need more insiders to come in and really put the pressure on them and make the market makers back off of it. Because basically the market makers is who's keeping it in this range. And when they lose control, that's when things get ugly. But they got deep pockets. So you might be like, oh well, let's just keep pressing. They'll run out of money. A lot of them, their accounts are so big they can get in and out, in and out. They can put blocks there. They can, they can play the game too. It's kind of like fighting with them all day. They're looking at the tape, they're reading all of this stuff, and it's like, bro, what's that thing called with the clouds? It's like on the chart where it shows you like it's like cloud volume or something. I forgot what it's called. It's like a map on the chart of clouds of trading or concentration levels on the tape. I forgot what it's called though. I don't use it, but I know those type traders that do market making that are looking for where they want to push the market to, they can see it. I think it's not even level 2, it might be level 3. All right. But yeah, interesting day. Go back over here and refresh and see if anything else new is popping up. Oh, this is a nuclear fusion company that they're merging with. Oh boy. That's gonna be so this company that they're merging with is also nuclear fusion. Now we know Trump is an oil person, but with him stepping into nuclear fusion, will we see anything else like green energy or whatnot pop? Let's see. Trump Media and Technology will merge with Fusion Power Company in an all-stock deal. Devin Nunes, the Republican congressman who resigned in 2021 to become the CEO of Trump Media, will become the co-CEO of a new company called TAE. Taking a big step forward towards revolutionary technology that will cement America's global energy dominance. Okay, so what is oil looking like today? If they're talking about energy, let's see what oil's looking like. Is oil supporting an energy move today? So right now, oil has grinded down from, it was 130 bucks in 2022, has grinded all the way down here to $55 per gallon, $55.99 per gallon. So I don't know. I guess this is a good dip. I mean, it's been down here a couple of times. We got the 514 here. Got a kind of like a level right up in here around this 55, but I don't want to assume things. I don't really know. It could shoot back up or whatnot. And even Trump's, that Trump news is over here on oil's news, the whole energy play. But this is oil and not nuclear energy. So I'm looking for nuclear energy stocks to probably get a pop, not oil stocks. I want something closer to the fire. Closer to the fire. And now we can see this thing just continues to trade sideways, sideways, sideways. YCBD, Bulk, EMAR. Video coming on up as well. Made quite a little bit of a move is off that bottom. Let's see how much that was. So it went down to 170 and waking up today at 172, but still in an overall downtrend. So I wouldn't even try to fight that trend. It's gonna have to turn. I have to turn. You all are spotting anything other than what I've seen so far? Right now on the things that are notated with catalysts are ATHA, DJT, and MU. I'm looking for something to come and challenge these. And they don't have a lot of volume. I mean, 8 million shares for a micro float is very small from what we've been seeing in pre-markets. DJT only 6 million shares and MU only 1 million shares. So very easy for something just to run past all of these and be the leader on today. So that's what I'm waiting on. Especially if it has catalyst before open. I like trading things that have catalyst before open so people can see it, get eyes on, because it's very hard to trade them after the open when a catalyst pops and it's just like a frenzy because there is no structure and you never know when the backside is going to stop or start, and get caught in some bad situations. So I like to avoid those. Posted a chart in Discord. Let me go look at that. Discord, man, I need to set Discord to open automatically. Keep forgetting to open it. We do have a Discord. It is a free Discord where we continue conversations after the stream. Continue to look over the market, see what is popping up, what catalyst is out, and try to take advantage of those moves, that momentum. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, that's the thing. You bought the dip on what in the world? I don't even know if that's it. That looks crazy. What is that thing? Wait, let me see. This is a rainbow. I don't know what that is. What is that called? Like a multi, I don't know. It's got to be something rainbow, right? It's like waves or something. That's insane. Bought the dip on price inside a rainbow. That's you be having some crazy strategies. It's like a multi. What? How many layers is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers of maybe support, and that's insane. Okay, so you bought you bought DJT already, bought on the dip with price action inside the rainbow. Let me go into DJT real quick. Let's see DJT. So the top side is 1470. Came down here to 1206. Did I look at the daily chart? We did look at the daily chart. It wasn't really, I guess there was like a little gap that could have been tried to be filled, 1170, but that's still too low. 88, nope. Where are levels on the daily chart? That's too high. Yeah. Sure. 42. Kind of just trading out the catalyst right now because there's no clear daily levels that I can see on DJT. Look at the overall market, see where it's at. Overall market has been trending downward. And then downward, came down here to 24, went back up to 25. Right now is above the ATR, so maybe it'll be a bullish day, but if it comes back down, I don't know. I kind of just use these ATRs to spot the trend on the day. If it stays above it, cool. Let's see if we can get an explosion upwards. If it gets below it, you know, this could become some type of resistance. So these ATRs are dynamic ATRs that are based on the last 14 bars of trading. And so on each time frame, let's say 15 minute, 1 minute, whatever you switch to, it'll be 14 bars on that time frame. I have another ATR that you see out here. This is ATR high based on the daily chart, daily ATR movement. And it's all the way up here at 25,400. So that could be resistance. If it does rip up, that could be resistance. And then if it does rip down, it's a plus or minus. So either side, it could find some type of turnaround point if it goes there. But let's continue to look around here. You took all of my indicators and consolidated them into something you call a rainbow. Yes, that is crazy. It literally, I was like, what? Does that not bother you not being able? You can the rainbow. You can see the candles, but I guess you could change the opacity to be able to see through it a little bit better. What I would like is I wonder could I create if I could create a I'm gonna have to look into that. Can I create a code that automatically looks for these trends or not trends, but these ideas of trends? So let's say if you have a candle that hits a low, makes a new low, but you have another candle that makes a higher low than that candle, and you draw a line there. Or let's say if we say on a 1 minute chart, give it 5 minutes. So if you have a candle that hits a low, give it 5 minutes. And if there's a candle above that, draw a level. And then the same thing for this. This will be the new point. Zoom in a little bit because y'all probably can't see it. So from here, this candle up to this candle will be that first line and it would extend it to the right. Then from here, we'll be looking for another type of buy up candle. So basically a candle that where the buyers look to be winning on it and see if it can start forming some type of trend. Now, this one did come down to this original trend idea, broke it a little bit, but trading back up to the upside. So this will be an idea here, new idea from here to here. See if it continues to hold that. up towards this top side of the 707. Right now it's at 683, but it's so flat right here. It's so flat. All right, DJT, big sell off there. Let me activate this big sell off. Woo. Nasty little sell off from 1320. I was saying, man, this is a meme stock mover, bro. You can't trust it. They're merging with a nuclear energy company. Trump is an oil person, but they're making new moves, and I don't know if people trust it. And so we're seeing this move down here. Plus, it has a super large float as well. So, yeah, not looking too trustworthy there. Didn't really throw out a new peak, so it's hard to see a peak here. Okay, so here's an idea. Well, no, it hasn't stopped. I was gonna look at for a trend here, but it hasn't stopped falling yet. Bottom here is at 11.99. ATH gonna get slapped down again by those institutions. Yep, another slap down right in that range. A lot of volume coming in down here at the 1234s. I don't know if this is going to continue down or what, but I saw this spike out here on that volume. Point of control is at 1305. Now below the point of control, it has failed that twice. A lot of penny stocks up here, but they are low volume. Let me do a run through and check the catalyst. It's a 7-cent stock. Nope, that's just a reverse split on 7-cent stock, so that doesn't matter. ATPC, AKTX, OCG. Okay, so nothing really catching my eye there. Oh man, give us something to trade, bro. I need $100 to end this week. Green. If I don't get it, it's no rush. I mean, it is what it is. First week 300, second week 200, this week down 100. But I have been fueling my dividends from my trading, so you know, getting that account grown on up, and you know, trying to put some aside for taxes, of course, because they be tripping. They said I was looking into the whole debacle where they're trying to get lawmakers, or not lawmakers, but the judges. Like I think it's the was it Congress? It was one of the judges or something like that to start having to stop trading regular stock. You know, stop trading. You know, being able to get in and out of stocks and things like that when you're in a position of high we'll say status, but you know, you have a lot of sway with what you say. Let's see where that ends up going. Continues to hold this idea, but has not broken out. It just keeps getting slapped at this 699. Now, what could happen is at the open, there could be a huge attack here at this 707. and it could blow out, but it could rip right back down once they get short. So that's the fear. And now it's breaking down that first uptrend idea, breaking down to that second one. Go ahead and remove this one, clear that. Very flat trading there. DJT came off that bottom of the 1235 back up here to the 1280s. And now let's see. So it has a little bit of an uptrend here. How do I change the opacity? So if you go into the study itself, there should be an opacity. Well, there should be an opacity. Let me look at your code here. Color with go to my study on, I think mine, let me see. It is study. So if I go to, what's the volume profile? Okay, so I have my opacity as an input. You have to add it as an input. So where you have where it says data, length, Gaussian order, show clouds, it should be in there as an input for opacity. So you can change the visibility of that thing. Yeah, it's just not in the code either. Let's see. Opacity. Rainbow plots. Plot. Funny. So yeah, you gotta add opacity, and that's, I mean, looking at all the code you got here, that's not that hard, but I would have to look back and on that opacity. I forgot to call the function that does it. But yeah, you literally just set the number. I think it's 1 to 100. 100% opacity will make it like super. You're not gonna see anything behind it. And then, you come on down all the way to 0. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, you just put in, so okay. So it's not a function call. You just have a define color. Oh yeah, you got to define it for that plot. Okay, but you could do it on the whole plot. So it'll be input opacity. You'll put a range from 0 to 100, like I said. And then you can define a color with adjustable opacity. Def your color, whatever your color is, create a color, red, green, blue, and then plot it on that. But that doesn't, for what you're doing, you got multiple. not be F alpha. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. You might have to do it per. No, it should be just one because with the volume profile, it changed the whole thing with just the input opacity. Okay. Let's go back over here. I really want something to just come by and just blow past all of this stuff with this low volume. EVTV just popped up. EVTV $1.05. Looks like it has a press release. ASIO AI provides additional details on letter of intent. Letter of intent. Oh. Let's see what happens over there. It's up 29%, has volume coming in. I'm not sure what the letter of intent entails, but it says ASIO AI and Envirotech Vehicles announced a $480 million business combination. So this is a business combination framework to focus on AI infrastructure and applied AI systems. So it's a business combination with EVTV. This is a low float. Let me go do our due diligence. Like I said, it's just getting started. Came from 84 cents low here. Top side was $1.09. The ATR high here is 94 cents, and it has a letter of intent. So let me do my due diligence real quick. EVTV. Add my notes right out here. Notes going. EVTV statistics. 3 million shares traded, so it is kind of running up on the volume. We'll see if it continues to try to break out that 109. It is a little bit cheaper stock. The float is 4.5 million on this one. Let me copy paste all of this. Shares outstanding 4.83 million, so it is a micro float. Very small float there, and it doesn't have a lot of institutions or insiders on it. Okay, let me close this up. Boom. And let's also look at the profile. So six is out of what? Says it is out of Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas. Got 22 employees. It is a consumer cyclical is the sector, and it's auto manufactured. Let's add that in here. Consumer cyclical auto manufacturers, 22 employees. Keywords. So it says Envirotech Vehicles Inc. manufactures and provides zero emissions electric vehicles in the United States. It offers class two through logistics. Class 2 through logistic vans, class 4 through urban trucks, school buses, electric forklifts, street sweepers, neighborhood electric vehicles. So EV is going to be a key word here, electric vehicles. EV, street sweepers, right-hand drive vans, and urban trucks. The company also provides vehicle maintenance and safety inspection services. It serves commercial and last-mile fleets, schools, districts, public and private transportation services companies, and colleges and universities. Envirotech Vehicles is headquartered in Houston, Texas. All right. So that one is getting started. Notes out there. EV, electric vehicles. So it's up 39%. And it's looking a lot more bullish than ATHA for real. But we'll see if it does a round trip. It's coming up. Let's look at the daily chart on this too. That's what I didn't do. EVTV. EVTV. So closed at 80 cents. Closed at 80 cents. Where could it go here? So it has a little high at $1.70. Well, I mean, that's not really a peak though. That's not a super obvious peak. Could be a level of interest. 137 though is definitely one. So let's go ahead and mark that 137. Where it peaked out right there. That's say, oh, I already got a possible daily level down there. But this is gonna be a peak daily level. Peak daily level. And so now beyond that, we have possible daily levels maybe up here at 173. So let's go ahead and duplicate possible daily, bring it on down 170s. And then beyond that, I'm not sure where it can go, but we're on it. We've seen it. We've seen it when it was getting started. So it's a business combination, but it's EV vehicles, and it announces a 480 million business combination framework. So this is a framework to focus on AI infrastructure. Okay. 7 million shares traded right now. It is quickly catching up with ATHA. It's about a halfway point. We'll see if people really want to mess with this today. I would love to see something with a little bit better catalyst, but it is where the people are flowing to right now. So once it hits 10 million, the sky's the limit. It's got about 3 million shares to be traded. Hit a high up here of 119. Point of control is at the 114. ATR high, it did get through that. What is the ATR on this one? ATR is 13 cents. So closing ATR is 13 cents per day, and it moved from pretty much $1 up to $1.13. That's pretty on it. But that doesn't mean it's over with. It is a micro float, so see what kind of structure builds from this as well. Oh, Discord post. Let's go Discord. So you got the post. So you got EVTV. You enter at 97, and a 10% is at a 10. Well, you already got 110 if you entered at 97. And then the next level, 20%, is at 117. Did it hit 117? It did hit 117. Did you take that 20%? Get that 20% up out of there. Yeah, I think this one's gonna end up in something else. Maybe it's the EV sector waking up. I don't know. Let me go back over to the news and see if EV is starting to pop or something. Is anything supporting this move is my question. A quarterly profit climbs on steady subscription. You took that 10%. Nice. That 10%. BTV hit a high of 119. No pullbacks as of yet. 9 million shares traded, going towards 10 very quickly. And so now we have a top. Now we can start to kind of find some structure. We saw it before any structure, so it was like, hey, where's the structure? But now we're starting to get this pullback. Point of control, kind of trying to follow it. We got the ATR high down here at 93 cents. Let's see what kind of structure builds. It's about to pass GJT in volume here. 1 million shares left to catch it. That's what I was saying. All we need is something to kind of spice up the day and start running down some of these and really start looking bullish. And so EVTV is putting the pressure on everybody. It's coming up under everybody. It's reached 10 million. It's looking like it can make it to 20 million by the open. So in the low floats, the only thing above it is ATHA. Got 4 million to catch up with that one. Nice little descent in here. DJT is not letting it catch up. It started just ripping. So DJT, it's trying to run for its life, is what it's doing. So DJT volume is 12 million and EVTV is 11 million, and it is running after DJT. Okay, so our first little peek up. Nice. This is an idea here, and we'll have to map out if it starts to get an uptrend. Nice little idea to start. Now it may invalidate this idea and rip back up, but we'll see if this idea holds. Want to control at 111 right now. $7 million shares traded. Trying to do. Now, if it does rip back over here, I think you're gonna end up it's gonna end up taking a lead position if it starts to rip this little pullback. The bottom side of this was 104s. Yep. Let's see if it blasts up. And it continued to hold. It needs to rip over. Well, 112s is where it needed to go, but it stopped right on that trend there. $12 million shares traded right behind DJT, but I don't know if it's going to stay bullish enough to continue to keep up. But now we know eyes are on it for sure. And with it being a cheaper stock, people are taking bigger share sizes. So we're waiting to see what the fat fingers look like. Are these like little fingers, or are this like the big explosion fingers down or up? Who's actually interested in it? This is automakers and consumer cyclical sector. EV vehicles. I really want to see something else come up with the EV name. Actually, let me add that to the notes since we're seeing that. So we know that we had cannabis on Friday. We had the AI data centers, and now we're seeing EV vehicles pop up. So on the vehicle mention, and this is on stock EV TV on and where is this one out of? EVT. This one out of Houston, Texas. I believe that's let me go back here. This is out of Houston, Texas. EV mention. So let's go back to our charts. Wait. I get a same from. Maybe I didn't add it. Let me edit. I ought to add. Okay, yes, Houston, Texas. Texas. Back over. Yeah. Okay, so now we have an idea that we could be on the lookout for EV if it's going to start spicing up. Okay, so again, we're starting to get, we got a higher low here. Low 104s. Is it going to hold or is it going to break down this 104? It's just holding this downtrend here though. 13 million shares traded. It is over DJT now. And 2 million shares away from ATHA. So about to be one of the leaders on the day with some type of catalyst. We have an uptrend idea here. We'll see how this holds. 104. We'll see if this can hold or if it'll continue to follow this downtrend. To break over 109. But no confirmation on these structures yet. Well, kind of confirmation on this downtrend for sure, but no confirmation on this uptrend. Hadn't seen any fat finger slip ups just yet, though. Seven. Okay, I see volume coming in there on that downwards move. Little pop there. That was almost a breakdown, but not quite. Not quite, but it is following this downtrend. It's going to need to get back over 107 to even look bullish. Following the downtrend. Did not work. All right. So right at that dollar, 2 cents away from that dollar drop, still up 27%. And it's about 1 million shares away from ATHA now. So will it reclaim this uptrend here at 106 for a new idea of uptrend? Very big numbers down here on the level 2s as well. Kind of, yeah. So will it treat this as resistance or will this become some type of level that it can trampoline off of? It is holding out of the downtrend and challenging this uptrend idea. We'll see how that happens. It's just in between both of them. This is like a 50-50 play. If you were to get in right here, either it goes up or it goes down. You know? We don't like 50-50. We like 60-40, 80-20. All right, so it did end up treating this uptrend as some type of resistance and continues to follow this downtrend. So we'll see how this holds and if it can create another new idea for an uptrend. Got less than 1 million shares to catch up with ATHA. ATR high down here at 94 cents. It's right on $1 right now. Continuing into this downtrend. So definitely prove this point here on this downtrend. We'll see if it can start working its way out of that. But as of now, and hold tight. Up 24%. It is now over ATHA. So it is leading in the micro floats with volume for sure. As far as the non-micros, it still has UGrow ahead of it. It has what else? VIC, VI, but that's like 5 cents. That's nothing. So it's pretty much leading the day. This is our leader. EV vehicles. Remember that idea for upcoming days, because it may come back into play on something that actually can pay out very well. Hmm. 99 cents. It should slow down around the ATR. A lot of people think around the ATR. They're like, man, should I buy this? Blah, blah, blah. We'll see though. Got some room down here. That $1 causing it some problems. I guess they saw that it was a business combination. They got real heated on that. They're like, y'all, we taking you back to zero. They're not even scared. Like, they're literally jumping over the buyers trying to sell. They're taking worse prices trying to sell. Look at that. They all the way. Look, the buyers are here at 1. They're at 99 cents trying to sell. That's insane. They have zero fear here. They're too confident, which is good because maybe that'll set something else up to rip from all of this short confidence. You almost made it down there to the ATR high. See that volume building in there right there. As of now, this downtrend, it would need to get back over $1. The first thing that I would be looking for is a higher low to start off. Show me that you can stop at a higher price first. If you can't do that, there's no incentive to do anything here. Because if you continue to break these lows, I mean, you could stay rational for a long time, because with that catalyst, just a business combination of a platform or whatnot that really hasn't been instituted yet, I mean, it makes sense for this to be going down. An irrational move will be it exploding back up. So how long can it stay irrational rather than rational? That's our question. It's at 22%, 97 cents. 17 million shares traded. Absolutely ran past everybody else. So today is looking like a penny stock day. If we look at our microcaps, we got all of these penny stocks that are red. BMAR, ASNS, YCBD isn't a penny stock, but Acon is another cannabis stock, EVTV, and then ATHA. And then on our non-micros, we have SOC up here with 49%, which I don't even know why it's up with 49%. But yeah, that one. It says investors await key inflation employment data, but yeah, that's not too interesting, and you could tell by the volume that people aren't that interested in it. UGRO is the next one. That's a penny stock. DJT, Donald Trump, the Micron. So just looking over here, it's like, man, where's the impressive stuff with some news that makes sense, right? Back over here, EVTV. Right down to the ATR, and this is the ATR. So there should be some thinking going on here at an ATR for a turnaround. So it can at least come back and test this 96 is what I'm expecting off this ATR, and that's probably what we're about to see. ATRs matter. People are like, why do you use the ATRs? Because professionals use the ATRs. So, you know, I think you should pay attention to them. Those people over there at SMB Capital and all of that, they be using ATRs. Now, I don't know if they use them on this price, but definitely higher prices. But we'll see how it plays out. Back up to that 96. Little peek through there. And back over this top would be, what, 95? So 96 is right up here. Let's see if we can test off of that. And if it runs into this and slams down, that makes sense because it's still in this downtrend. But it could start, yeah, see? ATR little pop there. Got this little decision area here. Is it going to trade back out of this and try to get back up to 1 or what? Why? So it threw a again, they're thinking about that ATR. That was a fat finger short, probably pushed it all the way down to 96 and it popped right back up to that ATR. But this is an ATR hold. So let's see if they can go ahead and try to get it back up. Top side of the previous candle is 96 cents. There's a little bit of volume coming in over here. You see that blue coming in. Let's see if they buy it up. Do they want to buy this or no? Definitely some thinking going on around this level though. There's the 96, and to break back over this this trend here, we need to get back over 97 right now. We'll see. Even on these little cheap penny stocks, ATRs come into play. Insane. They don't respect nothing else, but they respect those ATRs. You're like, don't judge me. All right, so ATHA, another uptrend idea here. It continues to get slammed down at those top levels. Very unpredictable sideways action on ATHA. Let's go back over to EVTV. All right, so it did dump off that level after thinking at the ATR. And yeah, so what happened. Boy, after it passed the ATR, it got brave, didn't it? They pushed it all the way down to a new low. Well, that's that one. So it's down to 14 cents. So people will probably stop trading it so much. It probably end up drying up in volume, but 20 million shares in pre-market is not a laughing matter. You know, there were definitely people over there looking at that one. I still think the majority of the focus is for a bigger move on ATHA. I just don't trust it because of those institutions. Still has up 66% with 16 million shares traded on it. But I do think one of these are going to end up being a blowout where it blows up and then it comes back to this level. That's what I'm thinking. They're going to lose control of it. It's a lot of shares traded, 16 million shares coming on through there. Now EVTV all the way down to 89 cents. So it just did a round trip. So I'm going to clean that off of my scan. All right, DJTV. MU back up as well. So MU still there. And again, we're back to our three that we had at the beginning. ATHA, DJT, and MU holding up. Oh my gosh, I need to get out of here. I did not realize it was this late. I need to hit the road. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I gotta hit the road. I literally just looked at the time. Yep. I will see you guys tomorrow pre-market. I will update you guys in the Discord if I see anything else during the day. But yeah, I gotta roll. Appreciate you one more time. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.